Have you ever noticed that the most attractive person in the room is not always the richest, the loudest, or even the best looking? Sometimes, it's the person who says very little, yet everyone pays attention when they speak. That is the power of Stoic attraction. Today, you're going to discover why true attractiveness has nothing to do with chasing approval and everything to do with mastering yourself. By the end of this video, you'll understand why some people naturally command respect, trust, and admiration wherever they go. And if you're ready to become stronger, wiser, and more disciplined, subscribe to Stoic Ascension and join a community dedicated to personal growth through Stoic wisdom. Let's begin. Imagine two men walking into a room. The first immediately tries to impress everyone. He talks loudly about his achievements, interrupts conversations, and constantly seeks attention. The second enters quietly. He listens more than he speaks. He stands confidently, without needing to prove anything. Hours later, people remember the second man. Why? Because confidence is attractive. Neediness is not. The Stoics understood a simple truth: the more desperately you seek approval, the less attractive you become. Think about a young archer preparing for an important competition. Before releasing the arrow, he keeps looking around, wondering what everyone thinks about him. His hands shake. His focus disappears. His shot misses the target. Another archer ignores the crowd and focuses only on his aim. The result is obvious. In life, attraction works the same way. People are drawn to those who focus on their purpose rather than their reputation. When you stop chasing validation, people naturally become curious about you. That quiet confidence is magnetic. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, ruled one of the most powerful empires in history. Yet he constantly reminded himself not to seek praise. Imagine being the most powerful man in the world and still choosing humility. One day, a servant noticed that Marcus treated everyone with respect, from generals to workers. The servant asked why. Marcus replied that character mattered more than status. This lesson remains powerful today. Many people try to become attractive through appearances alone. But Stoicism teaches that character creates lasting attraction. Kindness, integrity, discipline, honesty. These qualities never go out of style. People may admire beauty for a moment. They admire character for a lifetime. Consider a man who promises to wake up early every morning. The first day, he succeeds. The second day, he succeeds. The third day, he succeeds. Months pass. Years pass. His discipline becomes part of who he is. Now compare him with someone who makes grand promises but never follows through. Which person would you trust? Which person would you respect? Which person would you find more attractive? The answer is obvious. Discipline is attractive because it demonstrates reliability. People are naturally drawn to individuals who can control themselves. The Stoics believe that mastering yourself is the highest form of power. And power under control is incredibly attractive. Imagine a young woman walking through a marketplace. One merchant desperately shouts at everyone to buy his products. Another calmly explains the value of what he offers. By the end of the day, customers trust the second merchant more. Why? Because desperation pushes people away. Calm confidence draws them in. Many people ruin relationships because they become desperate for attention. They text constantly. They seek reassurance. They fear being alone. The Stoics taught the opposite. Build a life so meaningful that your happiness doesn't depend on another person's approval. When you enjoy your own company, others begin to enjoy it too. Independence is attractive. Desperation is not. One evening, a philosopher sat beside a river. A young student approached him and asked how to become more attractive. The philosopher pointed at the water. The student looked confused. "What do you see?" the philosopher asked. "My reflection." The philosopher nodded. When the water is calm, you can see clearly. When it's disturbed, everything becomes blurry. Your mind works the same way. An anxious mind creates confusion. A calm mind creates clarity. People are naturally attracted to calmness because calmness feels safe. In a world filled with chaos, become the calm person everyone can rely on. Many people think attractiveness comes from having the perfect words. Stoicism teaches something different. Listening is often more powerful than speaking. Imagine two friends meeting after a difficult week. One spends the entire conversation talking about himself. The other listens carefully and asks thoughtful questions. Who leaves a stronger impression? The listener. People rarely forget those who genuinely make them feel heard. That is why listening is one of the most attractive skills you can develop. Not because it impresses others. Because it shows respect. And respect creates connection. A sculptor once spent years creating a masterpiece. Visitors praised the finished statue. But they never saw the thousands of hours spent chiseling away imperfections. The same is true of personal growth. Attractive people are not born. They are built. Every day you choose discipline over laziness. Every day you choose patience over anger. Every day you choose courage over fear. You are sculpting yourself. The Stoics viewed life as a process of continual improvement. Not perfection. Improvement. People are inspired by those who are constantly growing. Growth itself is attractive. There was once a soldier known throughout his city for his bravery. One day, a child asked him if he was ever afraid. The soldier smiled. Every day. The child looked shocked. But courage isn't the absence of fear. It's acting despite it. That lesson applies to all of us. Many people hide from challenges because they fear failure. But attractive people move forward despite uncertainty. Courage creates presence. Courage creates confidence. Courage creates respect. Every time you face your fears, you become stronger. And strength is naturally attractive. The Stoics often spoke about emotional control. Not emotional suppression. Control. Imagine someone insults you publicly. One person immediately explodes with anger. Another remains calm. Who appears stronger? The calm individual. Anyone can lose control. Few can maintain it. Emotional mastery signals inner strength. And inner strength is one of the most attractive qualities a human being can possess. A wealthy businessman once lost everything. His friends expected him to fall apart. Instead, he remained calm. When asked why, he said, "I lost money, not myself." That answer stunned everyone. The Stoics taught that external things can disappear at any moment. Money. Status. Possessions. What remains is character. When your identity depends on external things, you become fragile. When your identity depends on your values, you become unshakable. And unshakable people are unforgettable. Imagine a garden. The flowers do not compete with one another. They simply grow. The rose doesn't try to become the sunflower. The sunflower doesn't try to become the rose. Yet both are beautiful. Many people become unattractive because they constantly compare themselves to others. Comparison creates insecurity. Insecurity creates neediness. The Stoics encouraged focusing on your own path. Become the best version of yourself. Not a copy of someone else. Authenticity is attractive because it is rare. A fisherman once spent hours patiently waiting for a catch. A young boy asked why he didn't quit. The fisherman smiled. Good things take time. The same principle applies to relationships, success, and personal growth. Patience is attractive. People trust those who can remain steady over time. Impulsive people create chaos. Patient people create stability. And stability is deeply attractive. Think about the strongest tree in a forest. It didn't become strong overnight. It survived storms, harsh winters, powerful winds. Every challenge strengthened its roots. Your struggles can do the same. Stoicism teaches that adversity builds character. Instead of complaining about difficulties, use them as opportunities to grow. People admire resilience because it demonstrates strength under pressure. And strength under pressure is attractive. Imagine a man who walks into every conversation trying to prove he's important. Now imagine another who doesn't need to prove anything. The second man understands a powerful Stoic principle. Your worth does not increase when others recognize it. Your worth already exists. People who know their value don't need constant validation. They move differently, speak differently, carry themselves differently. Their confidence comes from within. That confidence attracts others naturally. At the end of life, no one remembers how many compliments they received. They remember how they lived, how they treated people, how they handled adversity, how they stayed true to their values. The Stoics believe that virtue is the highest good. And virtue creates a kind of attractiveness that never fades. Beauty ages. Status changes. Trends come and go. Character endures. So if you truly want to become attractive, focus less on impressing others and more on improving yourself. Develop discipline. Practice patience. Master your emotions. Listen more. Speak with purpose. Stay humble. Remain courageous. Build character every single day. Because the most attractive people are not those who seek attention. They are those who have mastered themselves. And that is the Stoic way. The Stoics believe that every person carries two lives. The first is the life everyone sees. The second is the life nobody sees. Everyone notices the smile. Few notice the discipline behind it. Everyone sees the success. Few see the sacrifices that created it. Everyone admires confidence. Few understand the battles fought to earn it. A young man once admired a famous athlete. He saw the trophies, the applause, and the admiration. One day he asked the athlete for his secret. The athlete replied, "You admire my victory, but would you trade places with my mornings?" The young man was confused. The athlete explained that while others slept, he trained. While others celebrated, he practiced. While others quit, he continued. That is when the young man realized something important. People are attracted to results. But results are built by habits. The Stoics knew that attractive people are often those who have mastered the invisible work. The work nobody sees. The work nobody applauds. The work that transforms character. There is something powerful about a person who keeps their word. Today, promises are made casually. Many say they will do something. Few actually do it. Imagine a friend who tells you he will always be there for you. Then disappears when you need him most. Now imagine another friend who rarely makes promises but always shows up. Who earns your respect? The answer is obvious. Reliability is attractive. Not because it is flashy. Because it is rare. Epictetus taught that we should be more concerned with being good than appearing good. A person who keeps their word builds trust. And trust is one of the strongest forms of attraction. Without trust, admiration fades. With trust, relationships flourish. One evening, a wealthy merchant hosted a gathering. Guests arrived dressed in expensive clothing. Many spent the night boasting about their achievements. In the corner sat an elderly man dressed simply. He spoke very little. But whenever he did speak, everyone listened. The merchant noticed this and asked why people respected the old man so much. Someone replied, because he speaks from wisdom, not from ego. That lesson remains true today. The loudest voice is rarely the most valuable. The Stoics understood that wisdom speaks calmly. People are naturally drawn to those who speak with purpose rather than speaking to be noticed. Every word should have value. Every sentence should have meaning. Silence often says more than unnecessary conversation ever could. Imagine carrying a heavy backpack every day. Inside it are grudges, regrets, resentments, and anger. Each year the backpack becomes heavier. Eventually, you become exhausted. Then one day you decide to put it down. Suddenly, you feel lighter. This is what forgiveness does. Many people misunderstand forgiveness. They think it means approving bad behavior. It doesn't. It means refusing to let bitterness control your life. The Stoics taught that holding on to anger harms the person carrying it more than the person who caused it. A person who has learned to let go possesses a calm strength that others find deeply attractive. Why? Because peace is attractive. Chaos is exhausting. A king once asked a philosopher how to gain the admiration of his people. The philosopher gave a surprising answer. Stop trying to gain their admiration. The king looked confused. The philosopher continued. Focus on becoming admirable. There is a difference. Many people chase attention. Few chase excellence. The Stoics always chose excellence. When you become focused on growth, integrity, and virtue, admiration often follows naturally. But when admiration becomes the goal itself, it slips away. People can sense when someone is authentic. They can also sense when someone is performing. Authenticity attracts. Performance exhausts. Think about the ocean. On the surface, waves crash endlessly. But deep below, the water remains calm. Stoicism teaches us to become like the deep ocean. Life will always bring challenges. Criticism. Disappointment. Loss. Unexpected setbacks. The question is not whether storms will come. The question is whether your inner world remains stable when they do. A captain once sailed through a violent storm. Passengers panicked. The captain remained calm. His confidence spread throughout the ship. People felt safe because he was steady. In the same way, attractive people create stability for those around them. Their calmness becomes contagious. Their strength becomes reassuring. Many people spend years trying to appear successful. Few spend years becoming successful. There is a difference. One focuses on image. The other focuses on substance. A craftsman once spent months building a beautiful table. Someone suggested covering flaws with paint. The craftsman refused. True quality exists beneath the surface, he said. That is a Stoic principle. Develop substance. Not appearance. Build skills. Build character. Build wisdom. The world may initially notice appearance. But eventually, substance always wins. And substance is what creates lasting attraction. Imagine a candle in a dark room. It doesn't shout. It doesn't demand attention. It simply shines. Because of that, everyone notices it. This is how confidence works. Real confidence does not announce itself. It reveals itself naturally. Many people think confidence means being the center of attention. The Stoics disagreed. Confidence means trusting yourself even when nobody is watching. Confidence means remaining committed even when nobody applauds. Confidence means believing in your values even when others disagree. That quiet certainty is powerful. And people are drawn to it. A young student once complained to his teacher. Nobody appreciates me. The teacher handed him a seed. Plant this. The student did. Days passed. Nothing happened. Weeks passed. Still nothing. The student became frustrated. Then one day a small shoot appeared. Years later it became a magnificent tree. The teacher smiled. The tree did not grow because people watched it. It grew because it stayed rooted. The lesson is simple. Do not let your motivation depend on recognition. Keep growing. Keep improving. Keep learning. Your roots matter more than applause. The most attractive people are often those who continue growing regardless of who is watching. The Stoics often reflected on mortality. Not to become fearful. To become intentional. Imagine discovering that you only had 1 year left to live. Would you spend it trying to impress strangers online? Would you waste energy on pointless arguments? Would you obsess over the opinions of people who barely know you? Probably not. You would focus on what truly matters. Purpose. Relationships. Growth. Virtue. This perspective changes everything. People who understand the value of time move differently. They stop chasing distractions. They stop seeking approval. They become focused. And focus is attractive. Because focus signals purpose. There is a reason people admire those who remain kind in difficult situations. Anyone can be kind when life is easy. True character appears during hardship. A shop owner once noticed a customer being rude to an employee. Instead of responding with anger, the employee remained respectful. After the customer left, another customer approached. "I'll keep shopping here," he said. "Not because of your products, but because of your character." That is the power of virtue. People remember how you make them feel. They remember how you behave under pressure. Character leaves an impression that lasts far longer than appearance. The Stoics understood a truth that many people spend their entire lives learning. The most attractive thing you can become is yourself. Not a version created to impress others. Not a version shaped by trends. Not a version built from comparison. Your authentic self. Refined through discipline. Strengthened through adversity. Guided by wisdom. Grounded in values. The world does not need another imitation. It needs people who are courageous enough to be genuine. And genuine people possess a kind of attraction that cannot be copied. Because it comes from within. As you continue your journey, remember this. Attractiveness is not about being noticed. It is about becoming the kind of person worth noticing. It is not about seeking admiration. It is about developing qualities worthy of admiration. It is not about changing who you are. It is about becoming the highest version of who you can be. The Stoics called this living in accordance with virtue. And it remains one of the most powerful paths to a meaningful, respected, and attractive life. If you've stayed with me until this point, comment, "I choose character over attention," below. Share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And subscribe to Stoic Ascension for more timeless Stoic wisdom, powerful life lessons, and practical strategies for mastering yourself and transforming your life. Remember, the strongest attraction comes from inner strength. The deepest confidence comes from self-mastery. And the greatest victory is becoming the person you were meant to be. Until next time, keep ascending.